Hello everybody, I'm sorry for the trouble. I tried to set up two cameras but it didn't work. So I decided to go with only one camera on Facebook, then we'll upload to YouTube. Okay, here is Henry's home studio in Roland Heights, Southern California. We are kind of late in the day. I wish everybody had a good Monday. In the past few days, I have been working on a project on a very large scroll. The painting area is 17 by 32 or 33. So I try to figure out a way that I can enlarge a design of a phoenix and a dragon in Gongbi, or detailed, elaborated style, also known as the fine line style, to start. So I normally would use a light box, but in this case, because the scroll is kind of large and very heavy, very thick, so it won't work with light box. So I decided to use tracing paper. So the first thing I did was to develop a clean copy, an enlarged copy that can be put on top of the scroll as a master copy. So I used the Chicada wing paper, as you see, on top of this my table. Under that, you can see a computer printout. It's a very rough. You can see lots of bitmap dots. Very rough. It's not a fine line, it's only a kind of like placement draft that gives me a structure of the painting or the composition. The design I found is very low resolution, and it's only like a 600 by 800 or something like that. So when I enlarge that into this size, it becomes very rough to trace. So I used a Gongbi liner, a Gongbi outline brush. I used the new one. I opened only the tip, the sharp tip of the brush. Is this very too dark? Maybe we should change the angle of the light. Let's see. You can see better. Maybe use a white paper, maybe. You see it? Yeah, this is the Gongbi liner. It's very long, sharp tip. So I opened only the tip part to draw the lines. So this is the outlined copy I have. This takes quite a long time to do. So this will become my master copy, just in case I failed, I can trace it again. I can duplicate this on another scroll or piece of paper. You might ask why I don't paint on this. I could definitely. You can paint on Chicata wing paper and mount it on the scroll instead of painting directly on the scroll, which is what I attempt to do, because this is a wedding gift. I don't want to. It has to be rolled for traveling, so I don't want to make it too heavy to roll, or with creases, that kind of thing. So I avoid to mount the painting again on the plain scroll. So I just I will try to just paint on the pre-mounted scroll, the plain scroll. So I have some tips to share with you with the second stage. The first stage is quite common, so you can use light box or actually the Chicata wing paper is very fine, very thin. You can trace it without any light box or against window or something, because you can see through very easily. So this is how I do it. Just put the Chicata wing paper on top of the computer printout. The only thing I like to mention is you should tape the design on the copy that to be traced with a tape. Normally we use masking tape or artist tape like this, but they're kind of too sticky. So I use the artist tape, and you can see it torn my paper. It cannot be taken off from the rice paper. So I would suggest you use a surgical tape made by 3M. It's called Micropore, MICROPORE, Micropore surgical tape. This is a very very fine tape. It leaves no residual. It's very easy to but if you press too hard, it might still have trouble. But it's much easier to handle. You can take it off without to stick to the rice paper. So this is my tip to share with you on the the tape. You also need to use tape to fix the position when you trace on the final support scroll. I tape the top with this. You can see here on the top using the surgical tape. So another tip I like to share is the tracing paper. You can use the carbon paper we carry on Brookhaven Arts. You can find this one-sided carbon paper, and you put the carbon facing down and put the design on top. This is very common, right? Normally I would use a ball pen to trace it. That will create a mess on my master copy. I want to keep it relatively clean. So I tried to find out a best solution, and the tool I find is this. A stylus, a tracing stylus made by Fiskars. It's a brand very common in sewing stores like what's the Joanne fabric. You can also find it on Amazon. It's called the tracing tablet. Basically, it's a ball pen, but without the ball. Just like for embossing. I think they use this for, and for tracing. You don't write on the design, but it will create the. Let me just show you how it works. So I just use my tablet here. So if I trace something, so suppose I have the design on this rice paper. I just draw a cloud. You don't see anything, right? But you see, this is actually this small thing is I tested earlier. This big cloud, you see, is what I just did. So you can press harder to get darker, and press lighter to get lighter lines. There are also two different sizes. One is thicker. The other end is finer. So I find this very, very good. And I did use water to test this carbon or ink. I don't know what it is. It's not water soluble, so it's waterproof. But you can erase it with a liquid eraser, like this one. So it could be erased. And you can see some other tests I ran. It's very fine. You know what? I may just keep the line without ink line. So you can just apply color with this fine line instead of the ink fine line. So consider it as a bonus style, a Mogu style, because in Mogu style we still have to have a design underneath, under painting, but without using ink to do something like this. It will be very, very clean and fine, it will almost like watercolor, I think. So this is what I would do in the next step. So if you have any questions so far, please let me know. I will address them in the comment area. And thanks for watching. Have a great evening.